The fact that there has been this meeting between the king and his son poses the next question, William and Harry. Can there be any reconciliation between the brothers? I think it speaks volumes that during this 4-day tour of the UK, while Harry has been over here, William has had an absolutely packed schedule. And indeed, the day that Harry was in London, William was in Cardiff. There's been no opportunity for them to meet. When Harry was in Windsor paying tribute to his late grandmother laying a wreath at St George's Chapel, William and Catherine were out on an engagement. I'm told by very reliable sources close to William that a reconciliation is not on his agenda, that his agenda is supporting his wife, his children, stepping up as Prince and Princess of Wales, committing to his work, and that there really is too much water under the bridge. So a reconciliation as far as the brothers is concerned, I think sadly, is still some way off. Harry has not seen his father since February of last year, when he jetted over from California upon hearing that his father had been diagnosed with cancer. Now, Harry has gone on the record, he's given interviews, he's spoken about wanting a reconciliation, wanting to see his father, controversially saying he doesn't know how long his father has got left. Well, this 4-day trip with Harry over here in the UK was the perfect opportunity for a meeting to take place. We didn't know if it was going to happen. My sources are telling me this evening that it was a very last-minute addition to the King's calendar because he's been busy today. But Harry had cleared his diary in order to make this meeting possible, and now we have confirmation from Buckingham Palace that it has in fact happened. I think this meeting was very much what the King wanted to happen, certainly what Prince Harry has wanted to happen for some time. He has gone on the record, he's given interviews talking about wanting to heal the rift with his family, obviously not knowing how long his father has left with his cancer diagnosis, and he's given some quite emotional interviews. So the fact that it has happened is a milestone moment. This is a breakthrough. This is, we hope, the first stage in repairing a rift now that has been at the heart of the House of Windsor for quite a few years. I mean, essentially, since Harry and Meghan left Britain for a new life in California. I think the meeting in July between Harry's head of communications and the King's head of communications was very significant. There hadn't been a meeting like that really since Harry and Meghan had left Britain. And I think as well as both sides coming together and saying, we want to try and make some progress here, we want to have a relationship with each other, there were other issues that needed to be discussed. Calendars, these pseudo-royal tours that Harry and Meghan are doing, they are not working royals, so they cannot be seen to be overshadowing the royals in any way. So I think it's not just about a reconciliation between a father and his estranged son. This is new territory. This is the Duke and Duchess of Sussex going commercial in America, needing, as far as the King is concerned, to honour that pledge that they made to the late Queen Elizabeth II, that they wouldn't dilute the royal brand, they wouldn't offend the royal family in any way. And so we're in a new era here, and I think that meeting was very much about establishing those parameters too. Well, we know very few details. We know that Harry was seen photographed going into Clarence House shortly after 5 o'clock. We know that the meeting was just under an hour. Well, when you consider that the last meeting was a mere 25-30 minutes, this was twice as long. So that's an improvement. The one thing I do know is that if details of this meeting are leaked out by the Duke of Sussex, then this might well be the shortest reconciliation in royal history. So much is at stake in this meeting, not just because it is the thawing of an icy relationship. It's about trust. It's about Harry and the King being able to have a relationship, and the King particularly knowing that the conversations that they have at meetings such as this and any in the future are going to be kept private. So much damage was done with the publication of Spare, with some of the reveals in Harry and Meghan's documentary, and of course with the Oprah interview, that damage needs to be repaired. I think the King is prepared to move on from the past, but I'm told by a source very close to the King that the ball is in Harry's court, that issue of trust is so important to the King, and that in order for there to be a long-term and meaningful reconciliation, that trust has to be respected.